We have gone through some wild ass stuff.
I could give her 3 things, not one would be done in an 8-hour period. You wouldn't think you'd have to point out hygiene, you guys, but
you do.
You do.
It's literally in our employee handbook now. You are enforced, if you work here, to wear deodorant every single day.
You don't know the information because you didn't do the research and you didn't write the scripts, nor did you take the time to read the work that was provided to you.
Every health thing, every excuse for being lazy, every excuse for not taking accountability, texting our clients at inappropriate times, like midnight and later. If you want to go and be crazy and leave a bad review, I will happily show these receipts that say you have 365 days. And she's like, I don't know, I might be dying. I saw on your social media you were at the spa last week. I think you're going to make it.
The premise is how I became a millionaire by the time I'm 26. So I'm going to teach you how to do it, but we can't pay our monthly bill.
You need to send me every single DM that you got. Like, I can't believe you would put out a statement like that. Like, I could come after you. This chick has some serious mental issues. She did it to guys in Northern California, and then she moved to
Multiple
Scottsdale.
states.
She's done it to 3 guys here. Welcome to Behind the Success. Today we are jumping into something that it happens to every business, and a lot of people probably aren't willing to talk about it. And it's the horror stories of things that you've had to survive to continue to be in a thriving position, which is where we are right now. But, you know, these are some of the ridiculous horror stories of the past. No client names will be named. Clearly, all of these stories are people who are no longer clients. So don't worry. If you're worried that you're in this, your name will not be used, because I know that's what you're thinking. I'm just kidding. But I think it's important to be able to share some of the behind the scenes things and hopefully some of the lessons. But more importantly, I think you're going to laugh your ass off because we have gone through some wild ass stuff. And that's what this episode today is dedicated to. So my co-host, Kendal.
Where do you want to start?
Oh, gosh.
Do you want to start with hirings? Do you want to start with
firings?
Hiring/firing? Do you want to start with...
Yeah, let's start on that note. So
we've had a handful of different scenarios there, men and women, I will say. It's not one or the other. Both have had faults.
Yes, 100%. I mean, this is the hard part. The downfall falls on me because I'm the one who ultimately ends up making the decision. And I'd say that in a couple of these circumstances, we were just really shorthanded, right? Somebody was like, I'm moving to New York, I'm doing this, I'm doing that, and it all hits at once. And I'm like, oh shit, we're really busy. We need to find somebody. And so I'm rushing the process versus actually like taking my time and being like meticulous.
Looking for the qualified candidates.
Right.
And sometimes we're taking it from a personal recommendation.
Yes.
Of this person kind of fits your criteria, so it kind of jumps the line because it's coming from, for us, a reliable source.
Yes, but the first scam artist I'm going to talk about was a friend of mine. I had moved to Arizona, and this person lived in my apartment building. We became friends, and she was working in hospitality. She then got fired from hospitality because of, you know, whatever, stuff happens. And I needed help with a big event that we were doing. And so I was like, hey, if you want to help me, like, I'm happy to pay you, whatever. So that's how we kind of got in to working together. Anyways, it continued on. And there was definitely some things that would frustrate the heck out of both you and I, but I was like much more compassionate about it because this person had ailments like falling through the sky with them. Everything. I mean, they were a victim of their own circumstance. Every health thing, every excuse for being lazy, every excuse for not taking accountability to change their health.
Every excuse just to not take care of yourself.
100%. You personally hated that she would never get anything done with efficiency. And if she did do it, it was like
couldn't handle a checklist, could not handle a list of tasks to accomplish in one day. Typically, you have a job, you have a list of things you're going to accomplish in a day. I could give her 3 things, not one would be done in an 8-hour period.
Yes.
What are you doing? What are you doing all day?
The downfall for me really started with her texting our clients, who at the time were Major League Baseball players, like at inappropriate times, like midnight and later. And I was like, listen, we don't do that. Like, that's not how we operate as a business. We talk to people during normal business hours, 8 o'clock kind of being the latest. I think after that, it starts to get a little inappropriate unless it's an SOS situation, right?
Or the night before an event type ordeal.
Right. And then it's different. It's like, then we're talking literally all night because we're not sleeping. Because we were doing massive events, like huge events.
Couple hundred people.
Covered by ESPN and like all the sports channels, like all the biggest names in baseball were at these events. They were
throwing us items for raffles, like walking in the door, here's my jersey, I just signed it type of event.
I mean, the biggest sports agents, you name it, they were at these events. So they were like really intense. And we put a year of planning into all of them. So long story short, what happened? So I called her out and I was like, listen, you cannot be texting these clients this late. Like, I get that we're all friendly, right? We like to be close with our clients. That is the whole relationship, but this is inappropriate. And she did not like that. Well, fast forward, we knew the writing was on the wall, that like something was up. She was being really sketchy. And at the end of the year, she was like, I just don't think this is a good fit for us anymore, whatever. And I was like, yeah, I don't either. So she quits. Well, I didn't have her sign an NDA and a non-compete. Stupid, but I thought we were friends. Lesson learned. She then went and poached 2 clients that we did really large scale events for. So to those clients, you guys suck and you have no integrity, and I hope you're watching. But beyond that, she then proceeded to tank both of those organizations. So karma is a definite bitch. And I unfortunately just saw her recently, like out and about somewhere, and I was like, ugh, she still exists. It's so cringe. But long story short, it was a $75,000 mistake that I made by employing her and not having the right pieces of the puzzle in place. I was just kind of running and gunning. But more than anything, I thought I was doing this chick a favor, right? Like, it's COVID. You have no job, and right. I'm like kind of your lifeline, and this is how I get repaid. So that being said, never spoke to her again after all of that went down. I don't think you have either.
No. I barely wanted to talk to her when we worked together, so there was that.
There's that. So yeah, that was definitely my biggest hiring mistake. And
I think that one was pretty hard for you because she was a friend. So having to figure out how to separate the friendship from the work relationship, I think that was your first big breakup situation.
Oh, huge. I felt so violated in so many ways, and I like to be friends with everybody that we work with, right? We spend majority of our day together. There's nobody that I spend more time with than our team. And so I think it's not realistic to think that everything's just going to be business all the time, right? I want to know what's going on in people's lives. This was a different one because like we were really good friends. Like I went on her 30th birthday trip. Like nobody else went. It was like me and one of her other friends, and like 15 other people who were supposed to go just bailed. Like she was not a very likable person. Shocking. So I always felt like I was like there to save her. And that I've like also stopped with that. I'm like, I don't need to personally take responsibility to like save somebody else's life. They have to want to do that for themselves. So yeah, it was a very weird, complex, fucked up situation. But you and I are really good friends. You're literally bridesmaid at my wedding. Like, yep. I love you. Like,
I did your wedding?
Yeah, 100%. There's nobody I would trust more. So you can do both.
I think
that's the point, is like you definitely can do both. But we also have so much respect for one another that I'm not trying to leave you like hanging dry in something.
Right.
And vice versa. It's just about being an adult.
Well, and I think it's different too because I also have other businesses, so I understand how a business needs to run, and I'm not going to leave you in a situation where you're screwed.
Yeah.
And that's how you and I came together, was through networking and having different businesses that brought us together.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh my gosh. Women of Scottsdale 2017 Christmas. When I came out here, I was still living in DC, and Joanne wrote me into
Good Friday afternoon drinks.
I was like, who's this chick with like the wild hats? And we were also the youngest ones in that entire group.
Half of them could be my mom. One in particular was mistaken to be my mom for many years.
That makes sense.
For many years.
Nancy?
Yep.
Oh, good old Nancy. You ginger ninjas. Okay,
together.
well, let's move on through hiring. Then I hired another girl. This was like a rapid fire hire. This was one where I was just under the gun.
And it was, again, we had multiple back-to-back events, so we needed somebody to help with the setup, the tear down, the running, raffle tickets. Like, and really basic Anna Delvey style kind of things, right? Super basic.
So this one's funny. The one we just spoke about, the $75,000 mistake, worked for Hyatt. This one also came from Hyatt. So I'm feeling like when you come from hospitality, it's not going to be a good fit. I just put those things together.
Hyatt, especially if it's, let's say, Hyatt specific. We're not hiring anybody with Hyatt on your resume.
Yep.
We've will cross-reference and check.
Yes. But you would think hospitality backgrounds are going to crush.
You would think.
You would think.
Same with, I think, retail, where you're very customer forward. It's all about the other person on the side of the transaction.
100%. Not the case. Never showed up on time. Did not take ownership of their
health, life, time.
Health, life. What is the hygiene? Hygiene is such a wild one, man.
You wouldn't think you'd have to point out hygiene, you guys, but
you do.
You do.
It's literally in our employee handbook now. You are enforced, if you work here, to wear deodorant every single day. Like, I know that sounds crazy, but
you'd think at puberty that's just a mental known, but it's not. It's not.
Like, we are all in our 30s. This is so mind-boggling that we have to have these conversations. Then our producer was leaving. It was like a rapid fire time once again. And one of our team members was like, I have a friend who could release some work. Let's bring him in. I said, okay. I typically like when people know a person, right?
Well, and they kind of had some background.
Yes, in production.
Also a helpful tool specifically to us.
Didn't shower. It was bad. And you can't be in close quarters in a studio. Like, these studios look spacious. And they're kind of spacious, but they're not that spacious. You're still in a confined room with people.
In a little rectangle.
So if you smell like ass, I will be able to smell you from where I am to where our producer is. And
yes,
you know, it's one thing when it's us. It's a totally different thing when it is our clients. So that one lasted, I think, 48 hours, and that was the end. That was like probably the quickest in and out we've ever had. But both times, both of the folks who didn't care as much about their hygiene, keep in mind when we met them in their interviews, they did care about the hygiene. So it was kind of a bait and switch. They were both shocked when I fired them. Like, just absolutely mind blown. I was like, huh.
Yeah, we're a people forward. Like, when you're in close proximity, just like if you're in a doctor's office, you're in and out with patients. Like, hygiene is a requirement.
Big time. Big time. So those are weird ones. So if you're watching this and you're looking for a job, just please make sure you shower and wear deodorant. I think that goes a long way.
Don't show up
disheveled. That one's never great. Okay, let's move on to some podcast horror stories. I'm thinking about one specifically that has to do with scripting.
Yeah, we had a podcasting client, and she was very busy time-wise. So when she was in studio, she wanted to make use of all the hours in which she had scheduled to be here. So we would help assist in writing scripts as far as what was going on in the financial world, the real estate world, currency, I would say kind of everything within that vicinity, the stock market,
Personal finance.
And we would go based off of current events, what's going on, what's relevant, what are people commenting on her social medias about, what are the questions being asked right now, what are listeners, viewers wanting to learn.
Yeah.
We would provide them in advance. She would not look at them in advance and would show up to the studio unprepared. She would glance through them and go, well, I don't like any of these because I don't know any of the information. Well, girlfriend, you don't know the information because you didn't do the research and you didn't write the scripts, nor did you take the time to read the work that was provided to you for you to approve.
It's on a teleprompter, right? If you can read and convincingly look at a camera while reading, you probably are going to be able to nail this. But also, it was so inauthentic because you're painting yourself as like the finance guru.
But you're not.
But you don't do
Ponzi scheme.
Any of the back end that it takes to actually be that. Also, the other thing with that one, she bought all of her Instagram followers. Her assistant told me that. And I was like, oh, that's just not a great look.
Well, and she was also one that was very, very specific when it came to editing.
Oh, completely.
There was never an episode that came out where she was pleased with her coloring. It's hard to address coloring when you're spray tanning yourself orange.
Yes,
Once
she
you're
was
orange,
like, I'm too orange. And we're like, well, you have to stop spray tanning. Like, you're in a white room.
But I will say the one positive of her is she's the reason we now have a newsroom set up.
True.
That was the perk of her, but there was a lot of non-perks with her, but you're welcome for the news set, guys.
I know. I will say the learning lesson that we took from her is she did force, because she was very, very like high maintenance, us to up level in so many different ways and arenas. And so I'm very grateful for that experience. And I was busting my ass to be like, we will deliver. Like, you know what I mean? We will deliver so well. And then she ended up leaving, going to a different studio that was kind of a TV studio kind of vibe. That was always the goal.
Old news.
But all the content that came out, like the set was cool. It was all blurry. And I was like, so we're fine putting blurry content out. It just doesn't make sense.
Didn't make sense.
It's one of our clients. Make it make sense. I don't even care anymore. Long story short, she's not doing any of it anymore. So goes to show.
The paid followers didn't get her anywhere.
Weird. All right, so this is a recent one. We've got a sports psychologist who I'm like, oh, this is so cool. She's
with a promising list of guests.
Yeah, and like a great book of business, works in, like I said, professional sports. So, you know, these guys get paid millions of dollars. And sports psych is a very like popular thing, right? Most major athletes have a sports psychologist. Whatever. Long story short, she was going to start a podcast, and then she was like, I just don't know. It's like such a commitment, like wishy-washy, wishy-washy. Okay, fine. Around Christmas time, she's like, you know what? I'm just going to do one session, and I'm going to do like 5-minute clips and then just see how I do doing that. And like, at least I'll have some content to fuel my social media. And it's better than me like doing it at home with my little mic, like sitting by window, whatever. Like it'll be more
quality
professional.
control.
Yeah. And I'm like, if you're working at the highest of levels, you should definitely be investing in everything that's going on around you. People don't want to see you sitting in a basement in the dark being like...
with a door half cracked.
Yeah.
And your dog walking in.
For sure. It's distracting. It's all the things. So $250, which is 1 hour of studio time. That is all she booked. Rescheduled it 3 times. Third time, she was like, I actually just need to be able to cancel this entirely. I'm very sick. And I need to focus on my health. And I said, our studio time is non-refundable as per our booking agreement, clearly stated. I go, but however, you have 365 days to utilize this time whenever you are feeling better. And we will be here. Happy to see you then. Keep in mind, this is 1 hour. It's not like she bought a package of 10 and then was like, oh no, I made a big investment. $250, this girl is willing to ruin her reputation on. So she then emails me back and she goes, I understand the policy, but you're the owner of the business and you have the ability to just refund me and do the right thing. And I go, doing the right thing? I go, I have business protocols for a reason. My team still has to get paid. You know, we have to keep the lights on. Like this is the whole purpose of having booking agreements is that, hey,
they're upheld.
And I go, and if you want to go and be crazy and leave a bad review, I will happily show these receipts that say you have 365 days to when you are feeling better. And she's like, I don't know, I might be dying. And I'm like, I saw on your social media you were at the spa last week at the Global Ambassador. I think you're going to make it. But I didn't say that. I'm just like, you really think I'm so dumb. Another one with her. She was going to use our photographer to do some updated headshots. Great, love that. Gets the price tag. I don't know what that, I mean, maybe like $500 or something, which is very, very reasonable for
professional headshots on site.
She's like, okay, yeah, that sounds good. Then goes back to her photographer. She's like, no, I don't think so. Hadn't paid, hadn't signed anything, whatever. And so my cousin, who's our photographer, incredible, Sarah Racy, Tabrizi, or Batcherville now, sorry. Super talented. She was like, whatever, I'm busy. Like, she just lets it
slide off her back.
For sure. The next day, said sports psychologist doctor pops up with a new AI headshot. Like, as if people don't know that this does not look like you at all. So we saw it pop up on our Instagram, and I'm like, okay, here's a video of said person, right, where she's talking about whatever, and then here's her AI headshot. These two things do not go together. And that's 90%, I'd say 99%. I think that AI headshots are really quite pathetic. If you're using them, just don't. It's so cringe. You know what I mean? Like, let's let some things be real, like our freaking pictures.
Headshot. Let it look like you, display who you are, because again, at some point, somebody's going to hire you based off of that photo. And if the photo doesn't match the human that came in, it's a big red flag.
Well, I think so. And it's also just so fake. You know, like there's so much fake crap in this world. Like,
one place you can be genuine is your headshot.
100%. The bare minimum, right? Like, okay, so clearly this chick's just a little like screws loose. So then she emails me. She's like, even when I am feeling better, I'm never coming to your studio. Like, you're a terrible human being. Just insult after insult after insult. And I'm like, you know what? It sounds like this $250 has you really hard up. I'm just going to break my own damn rule. You take it. You clearly need it more than any of us do. And you are never welcome to step foot on our premises. So yeah, that's
Have
that.
A great day.
Blocked her on everything and it was like, sayonara. I'm sure she's still alive. So cheers to surviving the flu. Nightmare to work with. And you think like, oh, this person's a professional. They're also running a business. No.
Well, they're trying. Success is, everybody's definition is different.
Let's pop over to
success.
Success
stories.
This one's all about the horror stories. This is not where we're talking about the highlight.
Success.
Yes. How boring would it be if we're like, here's how successful we are. Here's all the great things that we've done.
Well, that's when we have guests on.
Yeah, we'll like pepper a little bit of that
When
in.
there's no guest and it's us, it's different.
Well, this is meant to be authentic and real, right? Because nobody's out here talking about all the crazy shit that is going on behind the scenes.
It is what makes it fun when I show up is for the crazy stuff.
Right? 100%. Like, Cole is our newest member of our team. He's one of our producers. And I was like, oh gosh, this poor guy's going to think I'm a nutbag. Like, just absolutely unhinged. But I think he's leaned into it and like kind of sees.
He's like, all right,
Okay.
I'm into that. Okay.
But I try to explain the behind the scenes stuff to everyone on the team because I don't want our organization to be, hey, I'm dealing with all of this crazy nonsense, but I'm not telling anybody because all of the stuff that happens affects
Everybody.
us operationally. So that if they interact with that client again, who's been a complete pain in the ass for the last couple of months, they understand, hey, these are the things that I need to be looking out for in this production, right? So operating in a silo, because I think that's the professional way to lead the team, I don't think it is. I think being honest and them seeing that like stuff really genuinely does piss me off sometimes is way better than being like, I'm a buttoned up CEO and like everything's
she's always
fine.
friendly and it's great and we're so successful all the time.
Yeah, I'm like when we lose clients and then guys, this is serious. We've got to really hit the ground because this is a revenue loss that we were not anticipating.
Right.
Which brings me to another one. So we recently had a client go adios amigos after signing a year contract. Which,
To build a podcast from the ground up,
Yes.
graphics, the whole kit and caboodle.
yes, and 2 months in, they just stopped paying their bills. Mind you, a couple weeks before they decided to stop paying their bills, they just launched a book all about wealth. So, the irony.
Well, and not just any wealth. The premise is how I became a millionaire by the time I'm 26.
Yes.
So I'm going to teach you how to do it, but we can't pay our monthly bill.
Yes. Also, there was no communications. So this is where this one goes really off the trails. I understand businesses change. I get it more than anybody. Like, you're crushing it, and then all of a sudden something really bad happens, right? 2020 happened, and we had 20 events planned across the country, and then literally
none.
2 of them happened that we just were like, fuck COVID, fuck these restrictions. We're going to do these 2 events in Scottsdale, boxing one, and then we
Yes.
had, I forget what the other one was.
Was it a book? Did we do a book
Yeah,
launch?
maybe a book thing. Either way, they did not
There was
pay the bills.
people-
They did not pay the bills. Like,
Yeah.
point blank. We still had office rent to pay. Kendall literally worked for free until we were able to get back on our feet in 2021.
I did, yeah.
And then, of course, it was like, take all the money. Like, we're finally, like, moving in the right direction. But it was really, really bad. So I get that business can change. I have a lot of compassion for that. But this person's not communicating with us. It's just our CRM
My
is charging
scenario change.
and it's saying
Declined.
declined. We're sending emails. Hey, we need you to get this sorted out. Did your credit card change? We're happy to switch it out for you. No communication. Until this person says, hey, all the content that you guys have, can you go and edit maybe 60, 70 hours worth of content, put it in a shared folder? I really need access to all of it. I said, no, that's not how our process works. We edit 4 weeks in advance so that we're never chasing somebody for content. It has time to go through quality control, publishing, all the different pieces. And yeah, nobody's sitting around doing 60 hours plus of
work.
editing. Well, 60 episodes isn't even 60 hours of editing. That's closer to 150 hours of editing, if we're being honest. And then that doesn't include all the publishing time, et cetera. So you're trying to now scam our business by getting all of this work done up front when you're not paying your bills and you
Or
have
your
no
card's
intention
bouncing.
of paying your bills. And then emails and says, oh, I'm going through a really rough time with my business. I can't afford it. I didn't budget for this properly. I'm like, sir, if you're writing books about wealth, you can read. The contract was not forced on you. This is insane.
And it broke down how much per month. So you knew what the monetary value was that you were contributing.
As well as the process.
Correct.
No client ever are we going to edit up front all of their content. Most of the time, you don't even have that much content just sitting there.
We're lucky to have 4 episodes in the bank when we launch.
Completely. And our process is very intentionally driven and built and all of those things. But yeah, so the reason I'm sharing this one, even though this is a very recent one, this has been like the last month or 2, is because this person had ill intentions, but is out here spewing that they are the, end all be all of being young and achieving wealth and all this facade. And it's just to share that So many things that you're going to see online are absolutely fake, right? It is
They're
smoke and
faking it
mirrors.
until they hopefully make it.
Yep. And so you don't necessarily have to be the smartest person in the room to succeed, but if you are going around doing things the wrong way, eventually that's going to catch up with you. The kicker, when we did our handoff, because I did give him a buyout of his contract, which was very nice of me. I didn't have to do that. Please transfer all this over to my new team. Your new team, you couldn't afford to pay this team. Oh, people, before you send an email, think about it. The smartest entrepreneurs don't just create businesses, they create content that scales them. At PS Studios, we work with high-level entrepreneurs and creators across the country. Some fly in every month to shoot with us in sunny Scottsdale. Others send us their raw footage and we turn it into scroll-stopping, authority-building content. From filming to editing to distribution, we handle it all. Done for you. Turnkey content that grows your audience, elevates your brand, and keeps you top of mind. Leaders don't wait, they create. Schedule your call today.
I also am wondering if his new team
It's all India.
that's what I was going to say, is overseas significantly less expensive, but significantly lower quality.
Oh, completely.
Ew.
Not a question in my mind.
But this one also was a referral from a current client who's fabulous and does pay their bills. So it's very confusing.
You just never know who's going to get you.
It just, to me, that one was a mind boggler because I did not foresee that coming.
No, and he was in the studio like week before doing all these promos for things.
I was in the studio with him
know.
2 days before you got the email.
Completely. I'm like, this is just, you can't make it up. So that was one. Okay, we recently went to do an event. We did an entire seminar. We did, I'm not going to mention exactly what we did, but we gave a lot of value away for free. Did a lot of one-on-one sessions, had some tangible giveaways that we did. And for all of this free value, what did we ask for?
A Google review.
Quick,
Literally
2 minutes.
Literally a Google review and maybe a Facebook review. Because
If you wanted to copy and paste.
Yeah. Do it in 2 places, but ideally we only wanted a Google review, which costs you a handful of minutes.
Yes. How many did we get?
I got none. I got
Big
no
fat
Google
zeros.
reviews. I got no Google reviews. I got no Facebook reviews. And to top it off, I personally sent 63 custom individual emails.
With deliverables that were
With the
custom to said
deliverables.
persons.
And let me share this feedback with y'all. I'm going to blow your mind. Are you ready? I got one auto response. I'm out of the office. Thank you so much. I'll touch base. Never went further than the auto response. And I got one email that said, thank you so much.
Isn't that the weirdest?
Not one email bounced, because you get an email if your email did not land in the inbox.
True.
No bounces. One thank you. One thank you for setting an away message so that I guaranteed it landed.
It's crazy. And what's wild is when we were at this thing, everybody's like, oh my gosh, you guys added so much value. This was so good.
Yours was the best session we attended.
Yeah, and I don't believe people tell you that if they don't actually mean it, right?
I
They
don't
just won't
either.
say anything.
They'll just blow past you.
100%.
I'm not going to tell somebody I like your shoes if I think your shoes are heinous.
I go to conferences all the time. If I didn't like your session, I'm not going out of my way to tell you how much I liked your session.
100%.
So we
I'm
took
just
that
gonna
feedback
avoid you.
as like, okay, this is great. It was also sold out. Like there was not an empty seat. It was really, really exciting. We felt like we really created like a good rapport. And like
We
I
were
said,
ourselves, just as we are talking now is how our presentation was.
and we gave so much away for free, which is fine. I like to give people things.
Well, I feel like it helped. By doing that, it proved our knowledge and our value and how we could help assist your business in leveling up and growing where you have a deficit or a need.
Yeah. So it's astounding. It's like, if you work with businesses, the reviews go so far. It means so much to them, right? You don't necessarily have to spend a ton of money with them, but if you had a great consultation, you don't even end up working with them for a huge project, just something small. I came in and I got some headshots done or whatever it might be. Take the time to leave that review. Like any time a business asks you for one, it's just do it. Like, don't be a dick. That's all I have to say.
Well, or, even in the minutes we spent with people afterwards or throughout the other couple of days where they're like, hey, can I pick your brain for a minute? And the 1 minute turns into a captive 10 to 15.
Yeah.
There wasn't even like a Google review or an email of like, hey, thank you so much for the 15 minutes you spent with me.
Well, there was those just like in the moment. And then afterwards, I opened my calendar up for 3 days and anybody could do a 20-minute session with me to ask whatever they needed for their business. I had probably 30 of those. So I was talking. And then we followed it up with, hey, we're doing a much lower offer to be able to help you guys out. And that did not get taken, which is fine. It honestly was going to be more work for us than it would have been financially worth. But I was like, I don't want to not offer anything. But God was like definitely blessing us because I'm like, that would have been just a pile of stuff. That would not have really moved the needle financially for us. So that was fine. But the Google review and the Facebook review, it's like, come
because
on.
in all of your follow-ups, you also asked for the Google review or a Facebook review or...
I sent an email to every person who was at this event.
And there was over 150.
Yeah. So weird. You
think one.
The moral of that story is, folks, if you're watching this, do the right thing.
Do the Google
Leave
review.
people reviews. Oh, this is one that we actually talked about at this conference, and it has to do with reviews. So one day, mind you, I don't manage our social media. I used to. I don't now. I'm on Facebook. Or no, I type this into Google. I'm curious. And I see we have 1 star on Facebook, and I was like, oh, 1 star. Oh my God.
How does that happen?
I'm going to drop that. I would have no stars, but not 1 star. Right?
No stars means no one's reviewed.
We don't ask people to go on Facebook. So, see this one review. And it's this whole thing ripping us apart for blowing off this lady for her golf tournament that she had inquired for us to help her plan. Mind you, we didn't blow her off. So, talk us through that.
Currently we do a golf tournament.
Uno. Only one client, one live event. That's all we do.
This person had been referred to us by that founder as a resource to say, hey, reach out to them. They do mine. Maybe they can help you. So he did an introduction, which was absolutely appropriate and what you would love for somebody to do.
Yep.
So she reached out to me. And I set up a time to chit chat with her. I was like, sure, let's do like a quick 15-minute discovery call. I'm happy to answer what questions you have. You've never done a golf tournament. This 15-minute call turns into about 45 minutes of time. She is starting from scratch. She wants to do it 2 months from now. I give her the rundown of how to do it if she is a nonprofit versus not being a nonprofit, the pros and cons to both of those scenarios, what type of sponsorships she could offer, from being a whole sponsor to a lunch sponsor to a raffle partner, asking for raffle donations, going through her network, and using that as an advocate forum to get donations, golfers, to promote it. 45 minutes of packages, pricing, what you're offering, how to get swag, whom to reach out to for it, and then said, well, I will discuss further with Leila if this is something at the end of the day she wants to take on, because I'm not the sole decision maker and it's not totally my call. We'll follow up via email with you if we opt to proceed and kind of go from there.
And give you our pricing.
And give you all the pricing, give you everything up front, so then she can turn around to make an executive decision. Well, in the meantime, that was probably like a Thursday or a Friday. So then I go over it, and Leila and I chit-chat about it, and we decide 2 months is not enough time for a golf tournament. We don't have the capacity.
Really successful.
We didn't have the time capacity to devote to it. And so I sent a follow-up email that said, hey, we kind of discussed your event and we decided this isn't going to be the greatest fit because we can't commit to you what you're going to require. However, here is a punch list of the first 15 things you should do to get you going, whether you opt to do plan A or plan B. We wish you the best of luck. This is where our relationship ends. Sayonara,
it was the
girlfriend.
nicest email. And Kendal is known to send a really nasty email. This was not one of those. This was
in my very nice professional voice.
Nice one. Yes, this was like buttery soft. And it would be a disservice to her.
And then I left it at that.
If we were to take on something that we just know needs more time and attention, for us to do it at the level that we would want to do something at, right? Can someone plan a golf tournament in 2 months? Sure. Knock your socks off. But it's not going to be us. Nicest email. We think it's over.
Because I've sent it to the lady, and I also CC'd it to Leila.
Yes. We think it's over. Life is good. until I go on and I see this 1 star and it's from this woman. And she's just like, they never told me why they wouldn't take it and blah, 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 blah. And I just needed more clarity and all these things. Like, we don't need to justify why we are not opting to take your business, right? Like, we get to decide what we take on and what we don't take on. We say no to lots of things. So I respond back and I go, Kendal actually wrote you a very, very nice email with tons of whatever. Here's the reference to that. She then goes deeper and she was like, well, you guys still never explained why you didn't want to take it. I said, we were at capacity, blah, blah, blah. And I explained that. And this is now a Facebook thread. Back and forth,
back and forth in the comments.
And I go, and you leaving a really nasty negative review truly impacts us as a small business. And I'm asking you kindly to take that down as here is the proof of us responding to you, kindly stating that this was not the right fit for us. Please remove this review. I asked it maybe 75 times throughout this back and forth. She was sticking her like flag in the sand of being like, this review will remain. So I go and I do a Instagram story and an Instagram like reel.
A video.
A video. And I go through all the tea, all the receipts. Everyone on our Instagram floods to Facebook, leaves us tons and tons and tons of 5-star reviews. Just boom.
Some even like jumped into that comment section.
Some even jumped in and they're like, you are so in the wrong here. Like, how dare you? Like, whatever. She's like, well, I need to talk to the people on my board before I remove this review. As it's like, no, you can literally just hit delete. I literally put that in the comment. I was like, you could just hit delete and do the right thing. It's that simple.
Really simple.
You're choosing to not do the right thing. And that makes you a really terrible human being. And then she gets really emotional and the conversation continues. Long story short, wake up the next day, we got 65-star reviews. Yay, now we're glowing on Facebook. And the psycho removed her dumb 0-star, 1-star
unwarranted review.
Yes. So I won. I mean, that's the only way I can look at that. I won, but it takes standing up sometimes. That's the other point. Not sitting on the sidelines being quiet, right? What's that going to do? Every time you Google us, it's like, oh, they've got a bunch of good reviews over here, but they've got this 1-star.
One where they didn't respond.
That stuff deeply impacts a business because someone's going to look at that and they're going to be like, oh, 1 star.
Well, that's what they're looking for in the reviews. They're not looking for the glowing ones. They're looking for what went wrong so I can decide if that wrong is a big deal breaker for me or not.
100%.
Or was it something petty? Like,
yes. Completely. And I think it was kind of clear that this was a petty one. And had she left it up there, people would have been able to see all the receipts. So they probably would have been a little entertained by the end of it of like,
right?
No. But as a business owner, I have to protect us. I have got to go and fight these battles because it's all of our reputations. If we go under, then nobody's got a job. I take all that stuff so seriously. But it's the work that we put in as a collective team day in and day out to work at the highest level. And for someone to go online and be a little troll and diminish that, abso-fucking-lutely not. So, case closed. We won.
All right, and I think there's one more I'm thinking of.
Oh, God. We saved the worst for last.
We saved the worst for last. And this one, I have to say, the best thing we ever did not allow staff to be in the room during recording. We pulled all of our staff out.
Could have been a pregnancy scam. All right, if you've been following us for some time, then you know, this was over
2024?
2024. Is it like August maybe?
Yeah, it was in like the fall because I had just come back from the summer when it...
Yeah, and I was in Houston for work and the guys were here. We get an email for someone wanting to book studio time. Great. I see it, I respond to it. That's kind of how we operate with that kind of stuff. If you see it, you respond to it. See it, respond to it. The person's... signature line says TED Talk speaker. And I was like, oh, okay, cool. Like, that sounds like they're going to be legit, like the right type of person to walk in. And I'm not overly vetting people. Maybe I should
Especially for walk-ins.
But it's a walk-in. It's 2 hours a time, whatever.
And they're just looking for the space. They're not looking for us to take their content to do anything. They just need a place to record whatever they want to talk about.
Yeah. They had a podcast before. They understand all this stuff, apparently, whatever. So send the booking link. They book. Great. This... they opted to do one of our old studios and they wanted to put a TV graphic on. I said, cool, send it over. Send it over. And the graphic is what then gets everyone's attention on the team. It's this crazy graphic talking about like this person is a fraud, whatever. And that person is the person who's coming into the studio. I'm like, why would you ever want that on a TV screen as you're doing a podcast? It's so strange. But I'm in Texas. Tell the guys, is like, hey, here's the graphic. You know, just be careful with this one. Well, they decided to Google and they're like,
Thank God. Thank God they Googled.
So like, I don't know. They didn't do deep. They did not go deep. They just saw a little bit, like a tiny,
all
tiny
you
bit. And they're
needed.
like, I don't know, this could be weird. But they don't know the extent. So she comes in, this gal, with her lawyer. And they proceed to do their podcast of taking live videos and pictures in our studio, like doing all this stuff for Twitter, yada, yada. The guys were like, hey, we're just going to set these cameras, and there's 2 guys, and we're going to let them go. And they also were recording all of the conversation, like, on their phone, just for, like, safety purposes, because they're like, we don't want anything weird to happen based on, like, what we saw at, like, the top review on, not review on Google, but, like, the top, like, headline. So, okay, I don't know any of this stuff is going on. I'm in Texas with our largest client. I don't give a shit. This is a walk-in. Next day, I wake up. My phone is blowing up. Our Instagram is literally going nuts. We have hundreds of DMs. And I'm like, what happened? I look at this, and I'm trying to get into a 9 a.m. meeting in Houston. So we're a couple hours ahead on that time zone. And I'm like, oh my God, this is so bad. This is like a PR crisis. They had posted pictures, and some of these internet sleuths who are following what's going on with this girl and her legal drama see and piece together from this cup right here. This is why I chose this cup today. That it says PS, PS. I don't remember which side it was. They figure out the business. They DM us. Do not let this scam artist into your business. Oh my God, like she is such bad news. She will come after you. Like, da 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 da. You need to protect yourself. Oh my God, I can't believe you would work with her. Like a lot of enraged people thinking that we like support this chick and all of her crazy stuff. So I put out a statement on our Instagram story. I said, we do not condone any of this. We wish to be completely like removed.
Left alone.
She was a walk-in customer and, brought a hard drive, gave her her files, went on her way. Like that was the end of it. Like, please leave us alone. We don't want to be in any of this. Hundreds of DMs that I cannot even begin to get through. Then I get an email from her lawyer, and the lawyer is like, you need to send me every single DM that you got. Like, I can't believe you would put out a statement like that. Like, I could come after you for this, 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 and this. Long email, threats, but then tries to be nice and being like, once again, I need to know all of the messages that you got. And I responded with a kindly fuck right off. Never contact me again. Block him. Then they go on, what was it? I think it was Twitter. And they say, oh, all that content wasn't usable. This audio quality was so bad. They take the camera audio and they put that out on Twitter saying
The raw footage, people. The raw footage.
Yes, not this audio. This audio does not connect to the camera. 2 different things. When we deliver files to a client, audio files, video files, you need to merge them together in post-production. If you had a podcast like you said you did, you would know how to do that.
Understand the process.
Or somebody would know how to do that. So they put this out, which is, once again, diminishing the quality of our work in a very public forum. And there's thousands of people who are watching this case. So you're wondering, okay, I don't know. I wasn't following your guys' social media last year. What is this about? This woman has falsely claimed that, like, a handful of men have impregnated her, when in reality, these have all been fake pregnancies. She has purchased sonograms on, like, Fiverr and random things like that.
Designed, yeah.
Yeah, crazy. The most recent victim of this was the guy who was on the Bachelor TV show, Clayton Echard. So there's this entire Instagram called Justice for Clayton, and it's thousands of people, like I said, who are following this story because it's a true crime thing, right? And it's happening right here in Scottsdale, Arizona. Clayton happens to live in the same building I live in, like just weird. I'd never heard of it though prior to all this shit going down. So this chick like has some serious mental issues. She did it to guys in Northern California, and then she moves to
Multiple
Scottsdale.
States.
She's done it to 3 guys here. One of them happens to be married to, Ashley Ford, Kendra Scott.
Yeah.
Her husband was one of the victims of this Looney Tune. Just crazy, and it's made the news all over the world, Daily Mail, you name it. So this is what graces us in our studio and starts to lead to the world's biggest nightmare. So they put this out. They say the audio quality shit. We respond with videos, with receipts, with, hey, this is the actual audio. So, You're full of shit. And then the gal does a chargeback on her credit card, which is now she's committed financial fraud, which in Arizona you can actually be severely punished for because you used a service, we provided our end of the bargain. There's a paper receipt trail, right? Like we have the video footage of you actually in our space. It is indisputable. So if the bank had not ruled with me, then I would have been able to go after her fully. And I had taken on serious legal counsel. so that I was
Yeah.
prepared. These people who are really invested in this literally helped us pay for that legal. Like, I think we raised maybe $3,000, and that's truly what I had to pay out to Ethan's father's firm to get all this stuff like moving in the right direction. Her lawyer then goes on further on X, Twitter, mind you, the scam artist she doesn't have a Twitter profile, demeans the studio again, and I think like 48,000 people or something crazy like that see this tweet where he's once again
And
talking
they're
shit.
uproared.
And I'm like, listen, this is insane. So the lawyer's like, we do have something to go on based on that. So then my lawyer calls her lawyer, and, you know, we're at this point, like, what direction are we going to go? This is months of bullshit, mind you. I'm getting tons of interview requests, and I was like, yes, we need to put a stop to this crazy girl. Icing on the cake is her and I go to the same damn gym, Barry's Boot Camp in Scottsdale, Arizona. And before you say, just go to a different location, there's only one location in our entire state. So I see her every week. Her mother has started going with her. Mind you, she's now claimed that she's bankrupt. Her parents have claimed that they're bankrupt. Indignant so that she would get a public defender for all these legal lawsuits. I mean, crazy, crazy, crazy. Yet you're spending $600 a month at Barry's Boot Camp between you and your mom for your unlimited memberships. I don't care how people spend their money. Like, that is of no interest to me, but such a fraud.
Such fraud.
And the fact that I have to see her is just like, ugh. And I wasn't there the day in the studio. I never even watched the footage. I was like, I don't care, whatever this psycho had to say about anything. But to me, it's the moral. As you can tell, I like get fired up about stuff. This person needs, like, there's got to be an end. I know I'm not going to be the end, but if I was just like, oh, whatever, I'm going to roll over and like not say anything or do anything, which is what my husband wanted me to do. He was like, this is so stupid. Like, don't get caught up in it. And I was like, no, I will go down fighting. I was like, and it's not about being petty. It's just like, fuck this chick. This is crazy.
Well, and it impacts business, right? Because she's trying to take down the studio.
Yes, and she's done it to other small businesses. Like, there's a whole string of other small businesses that
And that's
she
where not okay.
has terrorized, and they didn't go after. And one guy almost went out of business because of her. And I'm like, no. We were never in that position, right? Once again, it's a 2-hour ordeal. So what, $400? Who knows? It's not going to break us. But reputationally, I was like, we want to be on the right side of this. And we do want to stand with justice. And she's crazy. Like, she does need to go to jail. That's the only way I'm going to be happy at the end of this, all the cases. Now there's a huge iHeartRadio podcast that I actually was interviewed to be on that's going through just the entire
timeline.
Yeah, of how she messed with the Bachelor guy. And it's actually the #1 true crime podcast right now. I forget what it's called. I think it's called Love Trapped or something. Anyone, if you're interested in this, if you're like, ooh, now this is where you piqued my attention, go listen to that podcast, because I think they're going through like
step by step
everything, like the texts, the emails, like all the crazy stuff. I have no interest because I just don't need to spend any more time on her. Like, our stuff is all done.
The Cliff Notes.
And I mean, we are going to celebrate when she does eventually get put in jail. But yeah, that was a crazy one. That one was like a walk-in gone wrong to the like worst
12.
extent. Yes. Can you imagine if somebody was like, oh, I actually want to work with you guys, and then it ended up being one of those and we didn't know? Yeah.
Woo, we've been close, but
I'm so grateful now because, like, our producers, mind you, like, I can't be involved in everything because we would never get any forward progress if I'm just like, oh, I have to do everything. They go, and every time I'm like, hey, we have a booking request, they're like, okay, who is it? Like, let me look them up. Let me Google it, like, all the things. And it's great because then we, kind of know who to expect walking in the door.
Yep.
And we're not going to find ourselves in another scam artist situation that makes it on public news. I mean, YouTubers were doing this entire thing of just like...
Yeah, you had a lot of YouTube like episodes with other people following up.
Of people. So I hope that when you type us into Google, that's not all you get, right? Is like all those videos.
There's no way. There's been other stuff. I can't imagine that's the only thing. But I can't say that I've tested this theory.
Okay, final really positive story while we're talking about Google. I had the best consultation yesterday, and at the end I asked, how did you find us? The gal goes, I was using the Google AI. You know how you type it in, it like pulls the AI.
In Gemini?
Not in Gemini. She was just like in her Google search, but you know how it gives you the like... Gemini results at the top, and then it gives you your search results. She said, I was looking for podcast production and social media management Scottsdale, and you were the #1 first one that came up. And I was like, oh my God, we've won the war when it comes to this ChatGPT stuff. I mean, I get that that's flawed, but still, Google is Google. Like,
We need like a little bell. Ding, 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 ding.
I know. So collectively, I just want to say, like, great work, because we've stayed so consistent on all of our blogs. We just redesigned our websites.
And it looks so good.
I know. Things just keep, like, churning in the right direction, but that's such a big win. Such a big win.
That's so exciting. Yay for that consult.
Yeah. Anyways, that's the behind the scenes of not all the chaos. This was just like the hand selected chaos that we thought would make for good TV. We're here to entertain you guys today.
Hope you enjoyed it.
Probably not a lot of learning going on.
Well, they
but-
learned what not to do. Or take this and implement it in your business.
Yeah,
Vet the people.
here's how to take a PR disaster and flip it
Yep.
to 50, 60 plus 5-star reviews by like genuine, legit people that we know. So it wasn't like fake people
We
just being
didn't
like,
pay
I'm
for
going to go
them.
drop that.
We didn't pay for them.
We didn't. And so how you can take something that's really very frustrating in a moment and be like, how do we get this to be in our favor? And then hiring
And organic
mistakes.
growth.
You now know what things to avoid when hiring. What else do they know? Don't trust people who write books on wealth or talk about them on podcasts. Most of the time, it's
Leave
gonna
a
be
paper
fake.
trail. I would say the paper trail. Following up via email.
True.
Whether
true.
you're
You don't want to
accepting
do
or
a lot of.
declining.
You don't want to do a lot of phone calls. You want the paper trail. You're right.
Paper trail.
'Cause-
Old school. There's certain old school methods that prove always effective.
No, it's very, very true. Because if you end up in a legal dispute too, that's what the court wants to see. They're going to be like, I don't care that you had a phone call. There's no
Right, the
proof
phone
of
call
it.
tells me nothing unless you recorded it.
Who's doing that? Nobody. At least I wouldn't think.
The Lincoln lawyer on TV.
Is he? I only watched the first season.
The ex-wife number 1 does.
Ugh.
That works with him.
Pish posh.
She's key.
The show got monotonous. I couldn't keep up. Okay, anyways, now we're derailed, but thank you for joining us for this crazy horror story. I wish it was October so we could do like a spooky graphic,
Oh, we could save it.
but no way. This is coming out immediately.
Make sure you like us, follow, subscribe.
Yeah, drop
Tell
some
us
comments.
more of what you want to see.
And also tell us which horror story was
What's your
the
favorite?
best. Yeah. The spooky tales of PS Creative.
Ooh.
Until next time, folks.